Hi, welcome to another Minecraft tutorial. Today I'm going to be doing custom entity. So if you can hear my paper, I've got 4 pieces of paper to do today's tutorial, and it's a big tutorial to be fair honest, and it's going to take a long time, so I might split it into different parts. And yeah, I think I'm going to crack right in. So first thing that you want to do is we want to add a package, and it's just going to be .entity, and this is where some of the entity stuff is. And you want to add a class, and I'm going to call it entity ghost. That's what I'm going to be implementing today, ghost. And this is going to extend entity mob. Now this is a default class, and this is for the monsters, and it's going to make us want to add a constructor, which is fine. And we can add tasks for what we want the entity to do, so like AI tasks. Now hopefully I'm going to be doing a tutorial on custom AI, but I'm just going to hopefully get an entity working, rendering and all that lot for today. And yeah, so basically the way to do like add AI components, I'm just going to say AI components, and it's this dot tasks. When it updates, this dot tasks dot add task, and it's the priority and then the task. So we want some tasks. I've got them here, but I've also got a list of all the entity AI tasks that you can have in the game at the moment, that they're just the default ones. So here we go. I'll also display these on screen as well if I remember. So
entity AI arrow attack, entity AI attack on collide, entity AI avoid, entity AI bag, entity AI break door, entity AI control by player eggs, entity AI people swell, entity AI defend village, entity AI door interact, entity AI eat grass, entity AI find entity nearest, entity AI find entity nearest player, entity AI free sum, entity AI follow goal, entity AI follow owner, entity AI follow parent, entity AI harvest farmland, entity AI hurt by target, entity AI lead at target, entity AI look at trade player, entity AI look at villager, entity AI idle, entity AI mate, entity AI move indoors, entity AI move through village, entity AI move to block, entity AI move towards restriction, entity AI towards target, entity AI nearest attackable target, entity AI ocelot attack, entity AI on AI ocelot sit, entity AI open door, entity AI open owner hurt by target, entity AI panic, entity AI play, entity AI restrict open door, entity AI restrict sun, entity AI run around like crazy, entity AI sit, entity AI sim, entity AI target, entity AI target non-tame, NCI temp, NCI trade player, NCI AI villager interact, NCI villager mate, NCI wonder, NCI watch crisis, NCI watch crisis tick.
So that's a long list, and the priority can be whatever you want. We're gonna have swimming, so it's a new entity. No, the priority just one, and a task is going to be swimming. So new entity AI swimming, I think, and this is the entity. And then we want to add another task, which is it's going to be attack on collide. So 2, and so it's going to be a new entity AI attack on collide, and it's going to be the next one. So creature is this, that's as, and then we want to attack the player, so entity player dot class, and then here's speed in 1.0 D and false. That I just copied that out, the zombie one. We're going to do move towards restriction, so this dot tasks dot add and there we go, that's it for the constructor. Now we want to call our set size method, so this dot set size, and we're just going to set the size of ours, and ours is going to be 0.6f by 1.5f, and you can mess around with this value, and then you want to add apply entity attributes method. So I think that's apply entity attributes, and we're just gonna fill this in. This is where I'm gonna be using my next piece of paper, and I think we do the super, and then you want to do this dot get entity attribute. These are just attributes that we're adding. So for monsters, it's shared monster attributes dot follow range dot set base value to 35.0D, and then this dot get entity attribute. So we're just going to be adding some attributes to our thing. So movement speed, I think this is like for when you summon it. So we're going to set the base value of our movement speed. Now I'm doing this from a zombie, so this is 0.231112. Sorry, I'm just counting the zeros. 417232513D. That is long. This dot get. Hold on, I might as well just copy and paste this because this is getting long-winded. And yeah, so you can just use these. I think there's probably one for non-monsters, but as mine's a monster, that's what I'm going to be doing. So attack damage is the next one. And this one's a bit different. So you can in fact register one. So this dot get attribute map dot register attribute, and we're actually going to register an attribute, which you can in fact get from the description. This little thing here, just stick it on top. This is just a zombie one, and just Control Shift O to import these. Yeah, I'm just going to leave this because I think that's just default Minecraft code, and this is going to be reinforcement chance, that one. And then you want to dot set base value to this dot rand, which is a random, so it's going to be a random number, and it's the next double, and it's times by, I'm just going to do the same chance that a zombie's got to spawn, so it's net dot Minecraft forge. So we're just going to go find the class, because this is how common dot forge mod container dot zombie summon based chance. Yep. So that's all of our attributes that we're going to be adding. Now we're going to add an entity init method. So this is just going to initialize our entity, and we're actually going to do this dot get data watcher dot add object, and the ID is 12, and it's byte dot value of 0. No clue what this does, and you got to cast this to a byte, by the way. This is straight out of the zombie class again, so you got to do this attribute 12, 13, and 14. I might just look into what this is, because it didn't actually tell me. So I'm just going to do this because it's sort of like a zombie. This ghost follows like a zombie, but it doesn't like break down doors and that lot. Now we're going to do get living sound, which is actually going to return a string for the living sound. So I'm not going to have a sound, so I'm just going to leave this blank. Should work. You want to also do a get hurt sound, and I'm going to leave this blank because I'm going to do custom sounds in another tutorial. And you also want to do get deaf sound. So you can actually do the normal way of doing custom sounds, but I'm going to be doing a tutorial on it, so just wait for that. That won't be too long probably. And they're just going to be for your custom sound. So it, like for me, if it's living sound, it'd be BOE colon ghost underscore living or something, but I'm not going to be doing that now because I'm not teaching you that today. And then we want to add another method, which is play step sound. So this is the step sound, and it does in here. All it does is, I believe, this dot play sound. The name of the sound is going to be the name, the volume and pitch. That's literally all it is, but we don't have a sound, so that's just going to do nothing, basically. Now we want to add a get creature attribute method, and this is going to return an enum creature attribute. So return enum creature attribute dot. Now this is just what you'd want to define like creature. Mine's going to be an undead because that's pretty much what a ghost is. You also want to add a on living update method, and I've got the code for this in front of me, and it's basically is called whenever an update is required every tick. For example, when zombies and skeletons use these to react to sunlight and start burning. So mine is in fact going to start burning. So I've got this out the zombie code, and if I can read it off my paper, here's how it goes. So we're going to test if this .world object is daytime. So we're going to check whether it's daytime, and we're on the server side. I think that's what this means. Is, and you're going to put the exclamation mark. I think I've actually been doing this wrong. I thought that was the client side. I think that's the server side. Not too sure. Then we want to just get the brightness of float. F is equal to this dot get brightness, and the partial ticks is 1.0 f. We also want to get the block pause. So block pause, and that's block pause, and that's going to be equal to a new block pause. So we're just going to get like the rough location, and this is going to be double. So this dot pause x, and it's going to be, I'll cast this to a double. Cast this to a double, and we're actually going to do a neat method, math dot round. So it's just going to round this number for us, and it's going to round this dot pos y, so the nearest stuff, and then the z is going to be this dot pos z. So that's exactly where it is. And then we've got the rough position. Now you want to do this is checking for the lighting. So what we want to do is check if f is bigger than 0.5 f, and this dot rand. I think it just makes it random. Not sure. Dot next float times by 30 is smaller than, no clue what this does, by the way, f minus 0.4 f times by 2. And we want to check that if this dot world object dot can see sky at our block pause. So we want to open this up. I'm going to check whether we can see the sky. So if it can see the sky, we're going to just have a boolean here, and it's just going to be a flag. So this is going to be equal to true. So that's basically saying we should burn. And we're actually going to get if we have something on our head. So if we have something on our head, we shouldn't burn. Basically. So item stack is equal to this dot get equipment in slot, and the slot ID is 4 for the helmet, and that's for this. And then we want to check that the item stack is not nothing, and just need to import that, sorry, and we're going to check that it's not nothing. We're also going to check this if the item stack is damageable. So that's like if it's like a piece of armor, that's basically to check that. And then going to do item stack dot set item damage. We're just going to damage it now, and we're just going to set item stack dot get item damage and add this dot rand dot next int, and that is a 2. So that's just going to be random damage. It's going to damage it either 1, nothing, or 2. Then you want to just check if we've damaged it too much. So it's if item stack dot get item damage, if that's bigger than or equal to item stack dot get max damage, we want to this dot render broken item stack, and then this dot set current armor in slot 4. Gotta cast this to an item stack. We're just gonna say nothing. So item stack of nothing. So we don't have anything on our head. So I believe in this one we got to set the flag equal to false. So we shouldn't burn because we had something on the head. Now in here, out of this if statement here, you want to check if the flag is true. So if we should burn, and if it is true, it's this dot set fire and 8 for 8 seconds. So yep, that's that method there. And at the end, we just want to do super dot on living update. Now we want to add a update ridden method. So that's if we're riding something. And basically, it's just a super first. And then we need to check this dot riding entity. So we're going to get the riding entity. If it instance of, I forgot the instance of entity, I spelled it wrong, entity creature. So if it's a creature, so if it's like a mob, entity creature, and that's going to be called entity creature. That is equal to, cast this to an entity creature first, entity creature, and we're gonna just say this dot riding entity, that one. So that's just testing whether it is. So it's safe to cast, and if it's safe to cast, we're gonna cast it. And then we want to do this dot render your offset is equal to entity creature dot render your offset, like so. And we want to add an on death method, and basically this just happens when you die, when it dies. And we just want to do the super.onDef method. Just do the super. And you can like make it trigger like an achievement, drop a special item if like say it's blown up by a creeper. You know, if it's done specially. But I'm just going to leave it with the super. That's just up to you. Now I want to do get drop item. And this is just going to return the item that it's going to drop. Now I haven't actually made an item. So I'm just going to make my ghost. Because a ghost is sort of like a flying skeleton. So I'm just going to make it drop bones. That's the item that's going to drop. We're going to add a drop few items. And this just drops certain items depending on it. Just do the super. I don't know what these are. I think this is just... I really don't know what they are. But it randomly drops the item calling the drop item method. Sorry, I'm just reading. So the integer is the level of fortune. So, and I think the other one. So we just want to do by default this dot drop item, and the item is going to be items dot bone, and the size is rand. So it's our random. Next int, I'm going to say 3, and we're going to times that by the level of fortune. This, and that will be how big it is. So that just depends on how much fortune you've got. Then you want to add a set equipment based on difficulty. So we can actually test the difficulty and just change stuff. Quite cool stuff here. And it just sets the item in hand or the armor. So this dot set current item or armor slot 0, and our ghost isn't going to have anything in the hand. It's just going to do it by just hitting stuff. So that's not going to have anything. Now we want to add a on initial spawn. So this is when it first spawns. It can like do special stuff, but really we are actually going to get, what we're going to do is we're going to get living data, and that's equal to super.onInitialSpawn. So we're just going to get our current living data, and we will return this living data. That's so that we can use this. I'm still reading off my piece of paper. Next slide. And we need to call, before we do anything, we need to actually call this dot set equipment based on difficulty, that method that we just did, and then this dot set enchantment based on difficulty. That's if you're going to have enchanted stuff, and then it's just got to return the living data. No, we need to actually add a get eye height. Now I've already said how tall it is up here, I believe. And mine's 1.5, so I'm going to set this to 1.3 F. And yeah, so that's our entity class done. Don't forget to watch any of my previous videos or last tutorial. So yeah, go check them out.